tales to be revealed. These secrets of the Chesapeake.
Major funding for Secrets of the Chesapeake is provided by the MPT Foundation New Initiatives Fund, established by Irene and Edward H. Kaplan.
Ever wonder how it happened? How the Chesapeake Bay got to be the Chesapeake Bay? The answer lies in an explosive geological event from long ago that most of us have never heard of. The Chesapeake Bay Impact Crater.
Here we are standing on ground zero of the Chesapeake Bay Impact Crater, where 35.5 million years ago, you would have been vaporized to nothing right here. And behind me is the Chesapeake Bay, and as far as you can see over there, you're inside the crater. So who would believe that underneath this quiet, beautiful spot is the largest impact crater in the United States?
Geologist David Powers is co-discoverer of the defining event that shaped the Chesapeake as we know it.
Well, this is it. This is the evidence of the most catastrophic event that almost ever occurred on the planet.
This thing is still running.
Actually, I'm looking at debris from the Chesapeake impact crater here. Some kind of 3.5-kilometer wide asteroid or comet landed in the shallow ocean off of the coast of Virginia and created an explosion that was like stellar. It makes our whole nuclear arsenal, compared to like a firecracker. This event was that big of an explosion.
35 million years ago, sea level was unusually high everywhere on Earth. The entire east coast was submerged, and the ancient shoreline was located almost 50 miles to the west of Baltimore, halfway to the Appalachian Mountains. When the meteor struck Earth, it blasted a hole 6 miles deep and nearly 19 miles wide.
You can actually see what this event may have looked like from space. You can see this giant explosion, the flash of infrared light that ignites the forest. Following that is a giant wave that's like you wouldn't believe. It would wash everything off the east coast of America. I have a nice satellite image of the Chesapeake Bay area. And the crater is 56 miles in diameter and goes all the way around here, out underneath the ocean.
Because it's hidden beneath the bay, proving the existence of the crater required drilling core samples, taken from 6,000 to 7,000 feet below the bay's muddy bottom. Cores contain the unmistakable evidence of a meteor strike. Shocked rocks and minerals whose properties were physically altered by a cataclysmic force.
So imagine up to 900,000 pounds per square inch to create this shocked mineral in an instant. And we have proof of that in these cores here in the Chesapeake Bay.
Let's zoom in on these.
Examining the core samples back in the lab, David Powers and his research colleague Bright Horton immediately saw deformities caused by shock pressure.
There are several shock quartz grains in this field of view. The shock wave has such intense pressures that it causes permanent damage to the crystal structure of the mineral. This is proof that we had a hypervelocity impact at the present mouth of Chesapeake Bay.
The Chesapeake Bay is often called the ground valley of the Susquehanna River, a body of water that draws life from many rivers that feed it. With the discovery of the Chesapeake impact crater, Powers now knows why the rivers feed it, and why they are all drawn to this one spot.
The secret to this Chesapeake Bay is that this impact crater has been subsiding and compacting for 35.5 million years. All the rivers that when they cross the edge of the crater, they turn and go towards the center of the crater. The James River comes down here. Look at how sharply it turns into the crater. Here's the crater rim. And this comes with the York River. The Rappahannock River comes and turns into it. It's below. Water wants to run downhill. It's a unique discovery.
He's explaining that all those rivers run down toward the center of the crater.
I think it got this sound. I'm hoping it did.
Years earlier, the site occupied by the National Cathedral witnessed the end of days for all creatures that lived here. Travel back 35 million years ago. It's the Eocene period. Intense global warming is causing ocean levels to rise and push all the way into the capital. Palm trees grow over the archipelago that is tropical D.C.
We're in Washington, D.C., up on the top of the National Cathedral, one of the higher points in Washington, D.C. And you can see over here to my right, the Potomac River. So we believe this may have been all underwater, but some of these highest ridges that we're on, like right here at the cathedral, actually may have been islands surrounded by water.
However, on this day, 35 million years ago, a 2-mile-wide boulder is hurtling toward Earth.
From here in D.C., when the thing's coming in, we'd see this quick flash, giant bright light across the sky, and then an enormous flash of light, giant fireball. Imagine all of our nuclear arsenal going off, and we could multiply it by hundreds of thousands of times. This is how big this thing would be.
The fireball is headed for this spot, over 200 miles away from the capital, on what is today Virginia's eastern Chesapeake shore.
We're standing here on the edge of the Chesapeake Bay. We're actually here in the southern end of Cape Charles, which is considered ground zero.
Traveling at up to 130,000 miles an hour. A speed fast enough to circle the globe in less than 15 minutes. This chunk of space debris is headed for a crash landing in the Atlantic Ocean.
If we were standing here just before the impact occurred, we would have maybe a second or two of a light flashing towards us, big fireball, and then bang, incredible light. And then all of a sudden, stellar flash, sends out an infrared flash that ignites the forest on the shoreline 100 miles away.
An inferno rages through Washington, D.C., but another terror arrives in a flash. The impact has unleashed a screaming shock.
Every tree, every animal that was living would just be flattened.
The meteorite assault continues mercilessly.
Right here where we are at ground zero, the top one-third of the crater that forms is excavated and thrown up out of the crater. It overshoots where it could go, and then it collapses back down. Basically, that's like when you throw a rock into the water, you see that water shake back up? Well, this is what the rocks are doing. You have incredible stuff shooting way up. You darken the sky, it's black, it's like midnight now all of a sudden. The cloud is mushrooming out, spreading the stuff all up and down the East Coast. And then you actually had a lot of jet to land there. Hot things would be flying down, things the size of aircraft carriers and apartment buildings would be landing and making secondary craters in every direction.
Back at ground zero, the ripples from the meteorite spread. Immense tsunamis arrive over the horizon. Anything left standing within what will become the Capital Beltway faces yet one more disaster.